cool. We give you a bulls versus bear scenario on one stock which is in the spotlight today is Kotak Bank. Bernstein has spoken about what they think could be a deposit problem at the bank. Harsh joins in with the bull and bear case.
Well, Kotak is the third most profitable bank in the country, private sector. 22,000 crore is the profit after tax that Kotak clocks, trailing 12 months. And therefore, the deposit franchise of the bank is of key importance because it will determine where margins go and therefore where profitability goes. Kotak has been building its deposit growth, or rather deposit franchise, since quite a while now. And it's generally what supports banks in terms of their growth. Now, what's the bull case here? The cost of funds for Kotak is lower than some of its private banking peers. There's no doubt on that count. But what you would actually want to look at is whether Kotak has gained market share versus its peers, not versus PSU banks or versus the larger market, but versus its private banking peers. And that's not happened. And that's where the bear case comes into the picture. Can Kotak take deposits from other private sector banks, its competitors, its direct competitors, is something that has not happened. But cost of funds has definitely improved over the last decade or so. So your cost of funds on deposits has come down as its deposit franchise has improved. But why could this be so? Outside of the fact that it's come down, the lower cost of funds is largely because of the slower growth in term deposits. The slower growth in term deposits means that the higher cost of funds which is absorbed by term deposits, you're taking in lower term deposits, which is largely the reason why your number is looking favorable. In terms of the bull case again, now the focus areas that Kotak has in mind, and we arrive at this on the basis of the fact that how many branches is Kotak sitting on, and a lot of them are in urban areas where 75% of the deposit market actually is. But that limits its presence in rural. It not just does that, it prevents Kotak from granular deposits which come actually from rural, and therefore it is susceptible to more chunky deposits which Kotak takes from the urban markets where 75% of the deposits are. So again, that's a little bit of a bear case. Now, in terms of the bull case again, the urban focus gives superior branch productivity to Kotak versus other banks. But when you're comparing Kotak urban branches versus other banks' urban branches, the productivity is far lower, and that's where the bear case comes into play. So whether Kotak can sustain the kind of deposit franchise it has built or attempted to build to become a very, very large and serious contender in the Indian banking system is called into question by some of these factors which are reflecting in the bear case. And Bernstein's view is that that is not happening. They believe that Kotak is not firing on all cylinders where deposit franchise is concerned.
That's Kotak anyway has had a tough couple of days with some top level exits, so that has been weighing on it as well. Aditya, I just want to get your take on Kotak Mahindra Bank and how do you see it?
So Tamara, this is one stock which has done nothing for itself post-COVID. At least some of the stocks have shot up, some of the stocks have corrected, but this is one stock, if you woke up even after COVID, the stock is still languishing there. I think it's high time stocks should outperform now because risk to reward is in favor. Looking at the chart setup, still looks like there's an up move which is coming in the stock. So I would just add in my portfolio, keep it, and hope that it breaks out about that 1900 mark, which has been marking as a major hurdle for the stock. Of 1900, maybe 2200, 2400, something that we can see on the stock. But yeah, I would want to add the stock and allocate some portion of my money in the stock and keep it in my portfolio purely from an investment perspective, for nothing from a trading view at all.
Kush, you were smiling when we were talking about Kotak and Aditya was saying it's languishing.
Usually Aditya and I have very similar readings and very similar views. This is perhaps one of the rare ones, where we differ. And the reason I was smiling is that Aditya used the word hope. And a couple of times I've said it on the channel that hope is a very bad strategy. So for me, Kotak is a very clear wait for that level which Aditya mentioned, 1900 to be taken out before I actually
You're cracking
consider any
up.
kind
So
of
you're cracking up. What are you saying on Kotak? You like Kotak on the charts?
No, I don't. Hope is a very bad strategy. Don't add until 1900 is taken out.
Oh, okay. No, but then you kind of similar. Even Aditya is not too excited about Kotak. Maybe there's some hope there, if at all.